Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, YouTube preppers, prepping outside the box. I'm Josh, and we are going to talk about appearance today. It's not exactly what you think. Maybe it is, I don't know. I would assume it's not. But we're going to talk about appearance, and right before we do, if you wouldn't mind going over and doing all that fun jazz like, share, and subscribe, and hitting that notification bell, it helps me grow, and I truly appreciate it. But without further ado, we're going to jump into it. So we're going to take this, and we're going to look at it from the perspective of the bad guy, like I always like to do, right? It's the best way to reevaluate yourself, man. Best way to see where you're at, what you can do. Anyways, so there's various looks and appearances that are used to deceive, to inflate prowess, to show loyalty, lower people's guard, create empathy, right? All these different kinds of things, and there's more, but there's just a handful of them right there for you, and we're going to touch on some of these. So we'll go ahead and start it off with deceit, right? Now, with the appearance in mind for deceit, one might be wearing a uniform, right? Or holding a fake position or something like that in order to gain ground. Maybe gain entry to your home or your camp, or whatever it is, right? Wherever you're doing at the time. But they might be using it to gain ground. They might be using it to try to obtain some of your physical property, right? They're saying that they're with this organization, they need to take this from you. Maybe they're trying to gain loyalty. They're trying to show that they're with somebody and they want your support or whatever, or they're trying to create control. So all of this in deceit is a really big one, right? Because a lot of people would fall for it. You see someone in uniform, you assume, right? But it is something to think about, especially when you start getting into a heavy SHTF situation or anything like that, to keep that in mind. Deceit could be an easy thing that somebody, a bad guy, could use against you, right? Another one would be inflate prowess. So talking about inflating their abilities, their skills and all that, their expertise, right? So the size and strength of themselves or their group or their position. So they're inflating through appearance what they can actually do, or what they think, or they're wanting you to think they can actually do when they can't. They're trying to maybe make you follow them or something like that because they're going to lead you to greener pastures and they're not. Anyways, just think about that. Appearances are used to do things like that also. Appearances are used for loyalty. Maybe them taking their false abilities, like inflating their prowess or their skills, and maybe they're making false promises and things like that. They're doing something with their appearance. They're saying they can bring you to a better camp. They can bring you to a better location. They can bring you to safety, whatever it is, to obtain your loyalty, to maybe join their group or join a cause. Maybe they're telling you they can bring you to a location that's safer or better or has food or has water or shelter or whatever it is, but all they're trying to do is gain their numbers. You can always lie down the road and say, oh, well, maybe it's gone now, right? So you got to consider that too. We're talking about appearances. A lot of this is about going to the first one, deceit, right? Lowering your guard is a big one. They might make you, and this would be almost for an imminent threat, right? So think about it in the fact of somebody's lowering your guard because they're trying to make you feel that they're helpless, right? Or that they are not as harmful as they could be. So maybe they're just trying to make you lower your weapons, your people around you drop your guard, whatever it is, so they can have the upper hand. They can have a better chance, right? The last one we're going to talk about real quick is making you feel empathy. And a lot of this, it could suck you into a trap because maybe they need help and things like that. And we could do the what ifs and we can go on and on with all this, but you got to keep in mind the current situation, right? So, especially when we're talking about empathy, right? What is the current situation? Is it right now? Is it somebody broke down on the side of the road that actually needs help, right? It's most likely, not saying it can't be, but it's most likely not a trap, right? I know people are going to jump in there, oh, well, it's been done before. People have been, I get it. If it's the middle of the night and you are a small figure, do not go trying to help people when you can't see or be seen, right? Anyways, so keep in mind the situation. Is it way years into the future in an SHTF situation, right? Deductive reasoning has to come into play for all this. So you're sitting there and you're going to play through your head what the current climate is, what's going on, and all those things. And you're going to kind of reduce the factors that be, right? You're going to decide for yourself if it is safe or not. I will say that we're going to go ahead and evaluate this as a bad guy now. We've kind of given you some examples. We talked about deceit, inflating prowess, loyalty, lowering the guard, and empathy. Some of those main factors that someone might do to you or your group or your family or whatever through a false appearance, right? So we're going to think about this as a bad guy. How would you, right, being this person that's giving you that false appearance, how would you rob, kill, or hurt yourself, right? And you got to think about what opportunities, if you were them, what opportunities do you have to complete your task, right? Whether it be you can see they have a gun, you can see they have a knife, you can see they have a club, they have numbers, they have whatever it is, right? You're looking at what opportunities they actually have to do that harm on you. So you're thinking about what they could, if you were them, what you could do to yourself, what opportunities you had to complete that task, and what's your motivation, right? So in the end, it's a big one is what your motivation is for doing that. They might be good people, and I'm not saying never to help anyone. I'm never saying that. If you lose our humanity, and I've talked about this before, we lose our civility, then you kind of lose everything, right? So I'm never saying not help anyone. Just saying be aware, be cognitive of what's going on. But, however, what would you do in a circumstance where your family or yourself is starving and that person has food, right? Whether you know if they're bad or good, how far would you go when your little girl, your little boy is starving and it's been a week since they've eaten, right? What would you do to make that happen? And that might be their motivation in becoming a bad guy and becoming that person that wishes you harm to get your goods, right? So consider all those things. A lot of this is just trying to get in your mind, trying to get in the back of your head to put all this stuff in play. Bad times bring out the worst and bring out the best in people. But we do not plan for nothing to go wrong, right? We're planning for the worst. We plan for the inevitable or whatever the problems to happen, right? So keep all that in mind. I'd love to hear your comments down there in the comments section. Go ahead and share it, all that kind of stuff, all that good jazz. Until tomorrow, we got our daily go in the morning. And then I'm not sure if I'll have one out tomorrow night. We got a birthday party for my little man happening, so I'll try to get one out to you guys tomorrow night. I do have one in the bag right here that I want to get out to you guys. But until then, it's Prepping Outside the Box. I'm Josh, and I'll see you later.